Well, folks, another day, another multi-million-dollar bridge hack. Now, you may have seen the news earlier today that the Nomad bridge has just been exploited for close to $200 million. Ouch. Now, despite how much this may feel like déjà vu, it is in fact a hack unlike any other, and I'll get onto that in a bit. But first, a bit of background. So, Nomad is a crypto project focused on interoperability between different networks. In other words, a bridge between more than one network. And to quote their own documents, it's a, quote, security-first cross-chain messaging protocol. Now, this is an MVP that the project has been touting for a long time, and in January of this year, its CEO said, quote, "We're secure, period." Now, it also doesn't help that only 5 days ago, the project issued a press release talking about strategic investments from a raft of VCs. In said press release, they again stated their goal of developing a secure cross-chain protocol. But that is neither here nor there. As I mentioned earlier, this was a hack unlike any other, in that once other users found out about the initial hacker's exploit, they realized it could easily be replicated. They could basically copy the original hacker's transaction call data, literally Control-C, Control-V. And what's even crazier than that is that this vulnerability was mentioned in the audit report conducted a few months ago. Now, I'll leave a link to this tweet thread by a security researcher from Paradigm in the description below, as it gives a more technical breakdown of how the hack took place. Anywho, the end result is that the bridge went from having close to $200 million in it to almost $0 in a matter of hours. And one of the first community hacks, for lack of a better term. Of course, if you did manage to get any funds from the hack, I would encourage you to give them back, as there are some pretty sophisticated tracking tools that can follow those funds, and you can learn more about those in our video here. I should also mention that it appears that some funds have been withdrawn by white hat users in order to stop them getting into, shall we say, less civic-minded hands. These will apparently be returned. Now, this of course opens up the question of how secure we can really expect crypto bridges to be, because this comes the latest in a long line of previous bridge hacks over the past year, and here's just a quick rundown of some of them. The Poly Network hack for $600 million, the Wormhole hack for $320 million, the Ronin Bridge hack for $615 million, and the Horizon Bridge hack for $100 million. And that last one happened no more than a week ago. So, with yesterday's exploit, that's over $1.8 billion of crypto stolen. And I'm sure I'm missing many other smaller bridge hacks from that list. It also doesn't help that the explicit goal of Nomad was to develop a completely secure and unhackable bridge. And despite the team's extensive experience, their novel approach, and the millions they raised from top VCs, they still ended up falling victim to an attack. So this raises the question of how secure we can really make these bridges. And it's something that Vitalik himself has talked about in the past, because bridges remain some of the softest targets when it comes to crypto security. The unfortunate reality of this is that most in the mainstream won't be able to discern between a bridge hack and the underlying crypto networks themselves. They just read about a $200 million hack and cast their aspersions on the broader sector. Put simply, it is a terrible look for the industry as a whole. And of course, the same can be said when a centralized lender goes under and the crypto sector gets tarnished with the same brush. Now, of course, interoperability is still the holy grail we're trying to achieve, and we shouldn't abandon that goal. However, I think there needs to be a lot more testing done on bridges, especially before the stage at which they can reach hundreds of millions of dollars in TVL.